Hey guys, welcome back to Indoor Reef. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the coral growth experiment that I'm participating in. So in case you've not seen this before, for the last few years on Ultimate Reef, there's been a coral growth experiment each year. And the way this works is people can sign up and pay for a coral, and everybody gets a coral that's cut from the same colony, roughly the same size, at the same time. And then over the course of the next year, everybody records the progress of the growth of the coral, providing an update like every month. And then what we're trying to find out is at the end of it, I guess everybody wants to know whose coral has grown the most, of course, and some people call it a competition. However, the real point behind it is just to see how the coral grows differently or how it colours up differently depending on the different tank environments. So I've never participated in this before. It'll be a first for me this year, but I have followed along the last couple of years, and it was really exciting to see how the corals grew differently in everybody's tanks. So the first year was Pinky and the Bear frag, and the growth that one or two people experienced with this frag over the year was absolutely insane. The next year, I think it was a Hyacinthus, and the growth was pretty disappointed all round, to be honest. I think pretty much everybody who took part was a little bit disappointed. This year, the coral is what did we buy? Pearlberry, that's right. This year, we've got a Pearlberry Acropora. I can show you now mine. So mine arrived the other day, and I have got it here now mounted in the tank. This coral turned up on Thursday. It arrived really well packaged. So the vendor actually of the frags for each of the 3 years of the experiment has been Jason's Aquatics. Many of you in the UK will know this vendor. They're a sponsor on Ultimate Reef, which I believe is why they are chosen. From what I understand, he's been selling corals for quite a long time. He's got a lot of the great kind of classics, quite a few of the corals in my tank, like the barley slimer up there, and the big purple acro that's kind of growing out there at the back came from Jason's Aquatics. Oh yeah, and this Cali Tort down here. Oh yeah, and this Appleberry. There's probably a few more in here. Anyway, you get the point. Many of you would know Jason's frags for the big white frag tile that they come on. So like it literally is a piece of tile. In fact, that red planet at the back also came from there as well. And you can probably just about make out in that case that the shape of the tile that's still underneath. So anyway, after this frag turned up the other day, I left it like floated in the bag, floating in the sump for quite a while, a good few hours. So I was working at the time. It arrived, so I kind of just took it out of the bag, checked it was okay, got it in the sump, just left it acclimating in there for quite a while. And then over lunch, I managed to get the coral out of the bag and get it into the tank. So I actually didn't dip this frag. So folks, this isn't necessarily a good idea not to dip frags. In this case, it looked really clean. I decided to go ahead without dipping it in this case, and I don't always dip them. I kind of make a bit of a judgment. Now, I'm not saying that this is a good idea, and I'm also not saying that my judgment is good, but that's how I do it anyway. So yeah, so I got the frag into the tank, and then initially I kind of just left it resting down on the bottom here. This is partially because I didn't have chance to mount it at this time, and also just to give it a chance just to kind of settle and rest, and I could kind of get a bit of a good look at it. Later that evening, I went ahead and I mounted it up kind of right in the middle of the tank here actually. Now, I didn't actually think this was such a bright spot in the tank. You know, when I'd kind of done some power measurements way back, you know, I always kind of understood this to be a little bit lower, but I've kind of upped the lighting more and more. And yeah, in a minute I'll actually come to just how bright that spot actually is. Oh guys, one more really exciting thing that has happened in the last week. This channel has hit 350 subscribers, so that might not sound like a lot, but for a small channel like mine, that is really quite a big achievement. And I just want to say thank you to all of you who've subscribed and follow along as part of this Indoor Reef community. If you are new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, then, you know, check out some videos. If you're enjoying it, consider subscribing. It means you get notified whenever I release new videos. If you haven't seen my tank tour video yet, which, you know, shows you a little bit about the setup of my tank and how I run it, then yeah, go check it out and enjoy, folks. And it's kind of been what, so that was Thursday evening, so it's like it's Saturday now, so it's been a few days. It seems to be settling in, you know, reasonably well. I mean, the polyps are definitely open, you know, and it's I mean, it's still here, but it does seem to have gone a little bit whiter near the tips. Now everything else, like all the all the other acros in the tank, you know, are totally fine, so there's nothing kind of changed drastically here in the last couple of days. But I actually went ahead and measured the lights, so like measured the par at this spot. So, you know, to do this I got out my Senai par meter and yeah, basically took a measurement right above it there in the tank, and this actually came out at 450 par. Now this is at the like 2:30 in the afternoon, which is peak on my lighting schedule. So, you know, it shouldn't get any higher than this at other parts of the day. At this point I've got like both LED bars on, both Hydra HDs and the AI Prime HD are kind of at the peak. So yeah, 450 par. So I know this is something people are always interested to know in the experiment, and that was kind of why I wanted to measure it. So I have actually seen the tips of this coral just starting to turn white a little bit, and I will be keeping a close eye on this. But I am wondering if that could be a little bit of light shock, so maybe just that little bit of bleaching. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, this coral was in the dark during shipping for probably 24 hours. Yeah, hopefully it settles in well. You know, I've put it here because I think it's quite a central kind of place where I can see what it's doing, and also I'm kind of running out of room a little bit, and you know, I'm gonna be optimistic here and say hopefully this is gonna grow quite a bit, and I think it kind of grows in these like quite tall, like quite long, elongated, kind of thin, like branches, like you can kind of see here. That seems to be the shape of all of the frags. I actually haven't seen a picture of the mother colony. You know, I might ask in the competition thread if we could see one of these, because I think that'd be kind of cool to know what we're all, you know, aiming for. I've seen loads of pictures of the frags that everyone's received, but not a picture of the mother colony. Anyway, if you do want to follow along with this experiment and see how everyone's frags are coming along, I mean, I think there are about 20 people who are doing this. I'll put the link to the section of the Ultimate Reef forum where you can follow along, and if you're interested in knowing how my frag comes along, then subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing regular updates on here, probably like once a month, when I kind of have to sort of take a measurement for the competition, growth experiment. And of course I'll be doing like regular tank updates and telling you about my journey keeping this reef tank, you know, what I do that works well, what I do that doesn't work well, so that, you know, you can learn from it. And also, you know, I try to make entertaining content as well. You know, I absolutely love watching YouTube videos myself. So, you know, if I can make other videos that other people might also enjoy or get some use from, then, you know, I think that's great. Until next time on Indoor Reef, keep it stable, keep it fun, and keep reefing.